Here's a story and a formula to save a life. A dear physician friend of mine who practices in Florida developed renal or kidney failure a few years ago at the age of 60. He was initially treated with peritoneal dialysis, which involves automatically, with machine, 3 to 4 or 5 times per night, flushing special fluid into the abdominal cavity, letting it sit for a bit to remove poisons, and then draining out the contaminated fluid. This happened 3 times a week. Later, he moved to hemodialysis, where blood is drained from his arm into a filtering machine where the blood is cleared of the same poisons and then pumped back into his bloodstream. This is also done 3 times a week, taking 4 hours at a sitting. It must be a burden to be required to do dialysis 3 days a week or more for something that most of us take for granted. Since a transplanted kidney is much cheaper than dialysis and is easier on the body, it would be preferable for most people to get a transplant. However, finding a transplant organ can be difficult. In the last year, my friend has had at least 4 scheduled transplant dates, only to be turned down at the last minute. How frustrating that must be. The National Kidney Foundation notes that more than 120,000 people in the U.S. are currently on the waiting list for an organ, and 100,000 of these are for kidneys. 6,000 living and 12,000 cadaver kidneys are transplanted each year in this country, while 20 people die every day waiting for an available organ. Organs that are commonly transplanted from living or cadaver donors include kidney, liver, heart, lung, pancreas, even small intestine. Transplanted tissues include cornea, skin, heart valve, vein, tendon, ligament, and bone. A healthy living donor may be related or not to the recipient. It is a courageous and altruistic act of loving kindness to donate an organ so another person might live. To explore becoming a living donor, go to organdonor.gov. This gift of life has remarkably minimal risk to the donor and, depending on the organ donated, usually means just a few days in the hospital. While you're thinking about it, talk to your family about your intentions and mark yes as a potential donor on your driver's license. Please consider organ donation a most precious gift to someone in need, like my friend in Florida. It takes courage, but you will save a life.